I'm Tash and welcome back to my channel, Happy Artist. I know a lot of us acrylic pourers are getting quite amazed by this bloom technique. It's pretty much taken over all of my YouTube videos that I'm watching. I don't know about you. But as always, the products in South Africa are just a teeny bit different to what you're going to find overseas. All videos that I've watched so far are either based in Australia, Europe, or the US, some in Canada. The bloom technique was originated in Australia, so obviously the products from Shelly Art, who is based in Australia, is going to be your best option. But for us, we pretty much need to either import some of these things, or if you go to your local hardware store asking for some of these products, they have a very weird look on their face. So I thought I'm going to share with you how I, as a South African-based artist, have found the bloom technique to work. Firstly, let me just share this with you. It looks super daunting, specifically as a beginner myself, because there's a whole bunch of funny extra products you've got to buy and not necessarily understanding how each of them work, and I'm going to dumb this down. I mean, I needed to for myself, so I hope this helps you. So what makes the bloom technique different from any acrylic pouring technique? Firstly, you're not going to use your usual pouring medium that you buy at your craft stores or that you make yourself. You're going to create a completely different pouring medium with these awesome products. There's also a relatively easy to follow step-by-step procedure that you have to go through. The first thing is you have to put down a pillow that the rest of your colors are going to lie on top of. This pillow needs to be slightly thicker in consistency, and don't ask me why, but for whatever reason it needs to be a house paint. So this was the first product that I found, and so far it has worked for me. This I'm using as my pillow base. I did find that it was slightly thicker than what it's meant to be, so you'll see in the video coming up shortly that I'll end up needing to thin it out very slightly. If it's too thick, the paint doesn't go anywhere. Then you're going to need to create your own pouring medium. Ooh, very exciting stuff. At the moment, I do not have a recipe, so that will definitely be in one of my new videos because I'm going to be experimenting quite a lot this week with this specific technique. And then I'll upload that video so that you know exactly what measurements I use so that you can copy this technique as well. This video specifically is just 1, 2, and 3 different attempts where I was trying out, really experimenting to see what was going to work. Now the pouring medium is a slightly more tricky part, specifically for us in South Africa. Reason being is the products that are used overseas are very specific, the brand and the type of product that you're looking for. When I walked into one of our biggest hardware stores asking for these products, I got very doe-eyed looks. I think they thought I was a bit crazy. So the first thing I asked for was a white paint with an ultra deep base. Because all the videos that I've seen so far, they mention it. They literally even show you on the bottom of the tin that it is a white paint, but it has an ultra deep base. Now I've been doing some research to try and understand what this means, because when I land up looking for this, everyone goes, but you can't get white paint with an ultra deep base, because the deep base is what makes the pigment go darker and darker. So you either have a white pigment in your color, in your paint, or you have a deep base. Basically, in South Africa, it doesn't exist, but it's okay. What I've gone for at the moment is it does need to be an enamel paint, because this is what's going to help create the cells to a certain extent. So this is what I am using, but you will notice it doesn't mention any ultra deep base of sorts. So the only thing I'm struggling with at the moment is the fact that this has white pigment in it, and it is going to make all of the colors that you mix with this medium that I'm going to make, it's going to go pastel. So what I'm going to try and do first is get the technique to work, and then I'm going to try and find that perfect paint that does have an ultra deep base that is still white and not some charcoal color, because imagine mixing your charcoal ultra deep base paint in with your brilliant fuchsia pink. Ain't gonna look very good. But this enamel paint works really well for the technique. I mix the enamel paint with this. This was what you're supposed to be using instead of a polyacrylic. On every video that I've watched so far, on any recipe when it comes to a bloom technique, you're supposed to be using the Minwax polyacrylic. When I asked for the polyacrylic, again, doesn't exist in South Africa. If you do try and Google it, it does look like you can import it, but obviously at this point you want to try and make sure that what you're using works before you spend quite a lot of money on it, right? So what I needed to understand was, what is polyacrylic versus polyurethane? When looking for a product similar to what I've got, if you're not going to get the exact one that I've got, it's imperative that it is a water-based product. This must not be oil-based or anything else. It needs to be a water-based product. It's supposed to be a 2-part white paint, 1-part polyacrylic, or in this case, Easy Seal. But that didn't really work out for me with the measurements. I landed up having to put slightly more and more and more until I got the right consistency. So with your pillow paint being the thickest, almost like the warm honey that you're looking for in your acrylics, your medium is going to be slightly thinner than that because you want your paints to be thinner than your pillow. And then you're going to create a cell activator paint separate from anything else. Again, here is where most of them use Aussie Floetrol. I've had a look, there are some places that seem to sell it over here, but oh my, is it expensive. So while still experimenting, I'm trying out a few of my own things. I've just used my tried and tested acrylic white that I use, the titanium white from Art Jamming. So I mixed that with my usual pouring medium that you would use in a normal acrylic pour to try and thin it down. I used a little bit of water. Your cell activator needs to be the thinnest of these 3 properties. Your pillow paint being the thickest, your colors with the pouring medium that you create being second, and then your cell activator being the thinnest, because that needs to run very, very comfortably and quickly over all the colors when you blow it out. Let's have a look at my attempts where I show you how I experimented.
Alright guys, so this is attempt number 1. I have mixed everything, so I will do a second tutorial on how I've mixed everything once I get the recipes correct. But this is my first attempt. I'm going to try a quick spin and see how this works. This one is attempt 1 and it's a fail. I mean, it looks really, really beautiful over here, but I do think that I'm going to need to find a better alternative to the mixes. So stay tuned for the next one. Alrighty guys, so this is attempt number 2. You can see I've got paint all over my hands already. Still looking a little thick, but let's hope for the best. So now the idea is to create a pillow, which is why this is called the pillow paint. Oh, there's a lot of air bubbles. Oh well. Now you're supposed to create a bit of a pillow over here. Okay, so you can see that I'm leaving that little mound of paint over there. You can see my paints are thinned down a little bit more as well. So in the meantime, I have decanted my cell activator into these little condiment bottles and my pouring medium that I had to create into a condiment bottle as well. So I'm now going to use this cell activator.
So this is looking a lot better already. I'm loving this. I have no idea how I did it, but I'm loving it. You can see I'm still needing a little bit of extra paint so that I can cover these surfaces. I'm going to try a tilt quickly. No, there is absolutely no extra paint left for a tilt. Alrighty, attempt number 3. Paint is getting more and more on the fingers. And as we said, I learned that you need quite a lot of paint. So I'm just going to tilt this on the canvas quick. When I mix again, I'm most definitely going to thin out this house paint just a little. I think it's still a little bit too thick for what it should be. As you can see, I mean, I can't even get this side to pull down successfully. We're going to put a little bit of a pillow on top. Little mound that you're going to try and keep on top. And as you can see, even just with this, most mounds almost disappear and you can't actually see the pillow. In this case, he's loud and proud. So let's see how it goes. Okay, that's your consistency. And I'm going to just pour. That's probably the most paint I've put on any of these yet. Get my hairdryer. Now remember, hairdryer needs to be on a cool setting. Sure, but those cells are going. We're going to leave this for, let's say, 5 minutes so that the cells develop beautifully, and then I will spin. Great, I see some beautiful cells being made over here. Let's do a spin so that I can stretch them. Voila! Isn't that just gorgeous, if I may say so myself? Have a look at this corner. Oh, and how that white within the yellow has caused this beautiful lacing. That was my center where I had my cell activator and all my colors. Look how beautiful these cells are. Look at that, it's like a little spider web. Yeah, needless to say, I am super, super proud of this. Great. So now you've seen that it can work, and we do have products in South Africa that will make this bloom technique work. Very, very exciting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and recreate that recipe so that I have it exactly point on point so that I can share that with you. I was just so excited that I was able to attempt this technique and got a result that I wanted, that I needed to share this with you first. If you find something that works in the meantime, please let us know. Either in the comment section below, on my Facebook page, on Instagram, whatever you can. It will really help, and I think it's going to help us, specifically in South Africa based, to try and find something else that works. In case you didn't notice, my beautiful bloom is on the wall over here. Right? How absolutely stunning is that? If you think about it, I haven't used any of the products that you're supposed to, and it was a complete experiment, and yet I am very, very happy with this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I've been able to help you, and that if you are looking to try the bloom technique, you know where you can go and find these. These products are all super easy and available to find at your local hardware store. Art Jamming will be able to give you all the paints that you're looking for. Yes, I'm definitely going to be trying this out. I'm going to be getting the recipe perfect. I will find a white paint that you can use in your pouring medium that doesn't make your colors go pastel, because we definitely want those striking bright colors, right? I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay safe and warm. Ciao for now. You're supposed to use the Min Wax Polyacrylic paint. No, it's not even a paint. It's a wood sealer. That you'll see when experimented with. No. And it is going to make all of the colors that you mix with this medium that I'm going to make, it's going to go pastel. Sad face. The polyacrylic. No. These first few techniques that I've tried, no. You know what? Cut!